Well, hey, this is Gaines back here. I hope some of you enjoyed my first video about what I've done to my 2022 Road King special already. I thought I'd just do a follow-up, talk about some things I'm planning on doing to it next, and a few things that I'm thinking about as I get ready to do that. And maybe hopefully some of this advice will help you folks when you're thinking about upgrades to make to your bike next. And I definitely hope it's helpful to some folks. And probably the next thing I'm thinking of doing when my warranty expires, or if I decide I don't care about my warranty anymore, is going ahead and doing a stage one upgrade, which when we talk about stage one, basically it's your air cleaner, your exhaust, and doing a tune on the bike. When you if you do say maybe just some slip-on mufflers, you can probably get away with that without doing a tune, but once you start stacking upgrades, doing multiple upgrades, or if you do a full exhaust system and a different air cleaner, it's just going to really change how the air flows in and out of your bike. So you definitely want to do a tune to make sure your bike's not running too rich or too lean. So I'll go ahead and in talking about stage one upgrades, it might be a little helpful to talk about how a internal combustion engine works in general, just a little refresher, and maybe how a Harley engine works in general. So I think maybe I'll go back out to my bike and just to give a little refresher as best I can on that. And maybe it'll help explain the purpose for a stage one upgrade and why you want or need to do it. So this will be review for a lot of you, but basically if you're looking to get into the meat and potatoes of what an internal combustion engine does in general and what's going on with these Harley engines, they're basically just big air pumps is all they are. So you have your air coming in here through your intake, and then in each one of these is a cylinder, of course. So your air is coming in. The piston in, say, this cylinder, at this point it's going to be down and open, and the intake valve is going to be open. So that's going to let that empty space that's now there fill up with air. And then what's going to happen is the piston comes back up, and it's now going to compress that air. The air is going to mix with the fuel that's coming into it, and then the spark plug's going to spark and then ignite that air-fuel mixture, and then it's going to push that piston back down. And as that's happening, the piston in the other cylinder is now closed back up again and doing the same thing. So you basically got that happening. I mean, if you're up to speed on the highway, you know, a few thousand times per minute, and that motion of the pistons turning that crankshaft in there is pretty much what's making your bike go. So when we look at that and think about why we need to do, or why we want to do a stage one upgrade, is pretty much the more air you can get going into an engine and coming out, and the more efficiently that happens, the more potential power you're going to be able to get out of that engine. So, like I said, stage one, basically you change your air cleaner, which this is a stock air cleaner on this bike. And really, as you can see, it's got a lot of surface area on both sides and in the bottom. So when you're thinking about what air cleaner you want to go with, you want to make sure that it's going to be something that, if you're thinking about what you want to do with your bike in the future, you want to make sure you get let's say you're thinking of doing a cam upgrade and a cylinder and head upgrade. You want to make sure you get an air cleaner that can take in enough air to be able to support those upgrades and to be able to get the most out of them. And same with your exhaust. You want to have a intake and exhaust that's going to be able to support that extra airflow and really be able to get the most out of any future upgrades you're going to do like I said, say you're going to upgrade your cams or go even further to stage 3 or 4. So that's why stage 1 is so important, and then the tune on top of that, of course. So it doesn't really make sense, say you do a cam upgrade, spend a couple $1,000 on that, but you don't have an air cleaner and exhaust that can get the airflow that it needs to really make the most out of those parts. It really doesn't make too much sense. So those are a few big things when you're thinking about doing upgrades to your bike, is what kind of ride you're going to be doing, and kind of think about what your end goal is for your bike. Are you planning on doing a stage 2, which is your cams, and stage 3, which is your bores and pistons, and then stage 4 you're topping it off with new heads and a bigger intake manifold. So that's definitely something that plays into your decision when you're thinking about upgrading. What I'm planning on doing is, like I said, this air cleaner would probably support any future upgrades I want to do. But what I'm thinking of, there's a real nice Vance & Hines VO2 intake. And then they also have their either their power duals, or if you even want a little more performance out of it, maybe even go to a 2-into-1 exhaust. So those are the couple options I'm thinking of for this right now. Definitely, I'd probably want to upgrade the exhaust, just if you want a lot better sound. And again, that airflow going out will be a lot more efficient. Of course, you can also just change the look and the sound of your bike that way. Like I said, the air cleaner, it'd be more of an aesthetic thing if I changed that, because that air cleaner is fine for pretty much any upgrade I'd ever want to do. So then, of course, you want to give it a good tune. So at this point, that's pretty much, I think, what's going to be next for this bike. But again, that's going to be once my warranty expires, year or 2 down the road here. So let me know if you have any other questions. If you like what you're seeing and you want to talk about your bikes or talk about this one a little bit more, definitely give me a shout in my comments. And I love talking with people about bikes, and definitely more than happy to do it. All right, thank you.